If Warner Brothers was struggling with the reality that The Flash was an absolute bomb in its opening weekend, you have to wonder what they're going to do with this news. Because as bad as the opening weekend was, despite the fact that some people thought the return of Michael Keaton, all the nostalgia, they were predicting 120, 130, some even up to $150 million domestic openings for The Flash. It fell flat on its face. 2 Ezra Millers, 1 Michael Keaton return as Batman, and 1 massive flop for Warner Brothers with a $55 million domestic opening. Well, if it's possible, and it certainly is, the news just got worse this weekend. They didn't have the great word of mouth they were hoping for, despite all the celebrities and the mainstream media coming out and saying, this is one of the best comic book movies of all time. Apparently, most people didn't agree, and The Flash just had a massive drop at the box office. The Flash plummets at box office with second weekend drop of over 70%. And in fact, it's sitting there at 73%, third at the box office after taking their opening weekend number 1 last week. And look at this. No hard feelings. The comedy, the R-rated comedy from Jennifer Lawrence is only about $100,000 behind them. That is good enough for the worst DC drop in history ever that we've seen. It's almost on par with what we saw from Morbius not that long ago. That was a massive box office failure, obviously, for Sony Marvel. This thing absolutely fell off a cliff. It is embarrassingly bad. And it was so bad that apparently they felt the need to try to give away tickets, to desperately say, hey, you know what? If you're willing to just buy 1 ticket to The Flash, we'll give you another one for free. Please see this movie. Please, somebody desperately, we need you to see this movie. The Flash waves the white flag at the box office by offering 2-for-1 tickets after just 10 days in theaters. Now, of course, I can't show you this tweet anymore because, unfortunately, Fandango has deleted that tweet after they got wrecked, after they got embarrassed. But here it was. Want to go to the movies? Buy 1 ticket to The Flash, get 1 free. Use code TheFlash at checkout while supplies last. Now, I'm sure they've done this with other movies or things like that. But imagine this massive blockbuster that was supposed to get people there, that, they did all these cameos, Michael Keaton, all of this shit. This is how bad it is. They're trying to give tickets away so that people desperately come and see The Flash. When you put it in like this perspective, think of how bad this is. They told us that this movie costs around $220 million to make. It's probably more than that, but let's just go by what they said. And it costs an extra $150 million to market it. Look at this, because right now it's tracking to make less than $300 million globally. Painful, but needs to be mentioned. If The Flash ends up within the projection, since studio gets to keep only about half the box office grosses, it won't even pay its total $150 million marketing campaign. Warner Brothers would have lost less money releasing it on Max or not releasing it at all. Think about that. If this movie does not hit $300 million globally and they spend $150 million marketing, they won't even recoup marketing costs, which would mean they would have been better off just making the movie and putting it on a shelf, never advertising it, never doing anything, or just throwing it up on Max for nothing, right? Instead of deciding to advertise it this way. What a colossal failure. They can't even give tickets away to The Flash. That's how bad it is. This is one of the biggest failures we've seen for a variety of reasons. James Gunn announced reboot. The fact that DC just has not been what people have been looking for. It's been so back and forth, so many different people. It's constant plans changing, things like that time after time. And of course, the Ezra Miller controversy certainly didn't help. We'll see how bad it truly does get for The Flash, because right now, I can't imagine news can get much worse.